Hello everyone, my name is Derek and today I'm going to teach you on how to write a research. Well, most university students go through this stage in third year to fourth year. That's when you have to write a research proposal and you have to defend your research. So, first of all, you need to have a research question. We're just going to cover chapter 1 in this research so that some of you can just find out on how you can write a research. On coming up with the research question, you may find that most people will try to choose a very complicated question, but it doesn't have to be so complicated. It just has to be an easy question. For example, you may come up with a question like the advantages and disadvantages of marriage. That is an easy question if you look at it, because marriage is a common thing, and most people can come up in this research question when you are doing teaching, maybe religious studies, and if you were doing law, you can come up with a research question as in the hardships. I may say the hardships or the disadvantages of being a lawyer, or the advantages. You see. Now, those are just examples of questions that you come up with, that I come up with the way. Now, in your research proposal, you have to undergo planning. Like in your chapter 1, after introduction, you have to give a roadmap on what you are intending to do or what you are intending to achieve, your goals in your research. When you are writing a research, you have to have an element under your way of numbering in your research. So your research will have to have chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and mostly chapter 4. So what is involved in chapter 1? You will find that there's the introduction of the research, where you have your research question put in place. And if you're an agriculture student, you may come up with a research question like your advances in genetics, engineering of crops and animals, if you're doing animal science. Yes. So after coming up with the introduction, you go to the background of your research. That is how and the ways that you came up with this research that you have started. So the background of your research can consist of the background history and how you can tell people on ways on how you are going to go about in your research. And then after that, you state the statement of the problem. That is, if it's a problem, and how you may find the solution to this problem. And then after that, you may find that you come up with the purpose of the study. In the purpose of the study, you have to tell people the why you are doing this research. And after that, you go to the research objectives, and as a student, you have to come up with very good questions on the research, and most of your questions should be about what instead of mostly how, because for example, you may find that the how questions in your research will not give you enough evidence and time on how you are going to come up with the answers. So when you are presenting your research to your lecturers and your professors at your college of education or at the university level, you may find that when you put up a question of how, you will find that the question will be very difficult to answer, because they will fire you with very, very, very hard questions on how you are started. Maybe, for example, they may ask you about how you went to a certain place. You may say, for example, by bus, but how did you reach, and in what way you went to that place? So the question of how is a very tricky question, because just how you do something and what you do in order for you to get that something is easier than how you do it. Yeah, so most of your research questions should be not hard for you to understand. Yeah, it has been Derek. Thank you very much for listening to LeetCH. You can just right click on the button. Yeah, must be to your left side. Thank you very much.